Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has announced details on the RON95 targeted subsidy. The AGC is considering contempt charges against Shafie over his remarks on Zara Karina Mahathir's case. Meanwhile, police is set to question the University Malaya Association of new youth president. Stay tuned for details on this and more on Kini News. All Malaysians with a valid driver's license will be able to buy RON95 at RM1.99 per litre soon. This was announced by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim today. He also clarified that there will be a 300 litre per month ceiling, which e-hailing drivers will be exempted from. Anwar said that the ceiling was determined based on data from the Statistics Department, which found that the average Malaysian uses between 100 and 200 litres of petrol every month. He added that there will be no income cap on the subsidies once the mechanism is in place, and around 16 million people will benefit from it.
Kerana kita berikan nikmat manfaat subsidi RON95 ini kepada semua, ya, saya nak jelaskan. Mungkin ada juga kritik mengapa kawan golongan makaya pun dapat ini kerana ini pengiktirafan kepada rakyat Malaysia. Ya, jadi kita bedakan.
Anwar added that the rollout of the targeted subsidies will be carried out in stages. The armed forces and police will be the first to get the subsidies starting September 27th. This will be followed by Rahmah Cash 8 recipients on September 28th before a full rollout on September 30th. Meanwhile, the MOF said that the government had taken steps to simplify the process and no prior registration is required. It said the only extra step is verification with a MyCard when purchasing RON95 at the subsidized price. Warisan President Shafie could face a contempt of court charge over his remarks on the inquest into Zara Karina Mahathir's death. In a statement today, the Attorney General's Chambers said it is reviewing in detail the contents of Shafie's statement, which it said was made during an event on September 20th. It said such a statement has the potential to create inaccurate perceptions among the public and disrupt ongoing court proceedings. The AGC added that it will not hesitate to take firm action under the provisions of the law, including initiating contempt of court proceedings, once the review is completed. It also reminded the public not to make any statements or take actions that could cause confusion or jeopardize the proceedings before the coroner's court. It was previously reported that a video circulated on social media platforms showed Shafie, who was speaking at a political event, accusing authorities, particularly the police, of mishandling Zara's case. Meanwhile, during inquest proceedings today, the coroner's court issued a show cause notice to Shafie over his disputed statements, with coroner Amir Shah Amir Hassan allowing the application made by lawyer Ram Singh. Newstrace Times reported that the application by the lawyer, who represents another student witness in the inquest, was supported by all parties in the proceedings. The inquest is examining the circumstances surrounding Zara's fall from the third floor of her school dormitory in July. Police have summoned University Malaya Association of New Youth President Tang Yi-Tze over his statement on the matriculation program. In a press advisory, Lawyers for Liberty said Tang will give his statement at the Wangsa Maju District Police Headquarters at 2 p.m. tomorrow. It said the investigation is under Section 505(b) of the Penal Code for statements conducive to public mischief and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998 for improper use of network facilities. It added that Tang will be accompanied by LFL Director Zaid Malik. Section 505(b) carries a penalty of up to 2 years imprisonment, a fine or both, while Section 233 provides for a fine of up to 500,000 ringgit, a jail term for up to 2 years or both. On September 18th, police recorded a statement from Malaysia Kini journalist Shakira Buang over the article quoting Tang, in which he urged the Higher Education Ministry to abolish the matriculation program and adopt STPM as the sole qualification for public university entry. Umani has since apologized, explaining that it had used the wrong term and had meant to suggest a merger with the STPM exam. Previously, on September 12, Umani submitted a memorandum to the Higher Education Ministry highlighting the proposal as the most effective way to address concerns over admission quotas. From now on, you can also listen to Kini News on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. DAP Secretary General Anthony Loke said the next general election should be used to reset and streamline Malaysia's parliament and peninsula state election cycles. This could mean that G16 might take place late next year or in early 2027. Over the past 5 years, the peninsular state elections have been held across 4 different cycles. This started with the snap polls in Malacca in 2021 and Johor in 2022. Then 6 states, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Penang, Kedah, Kelantan, and Terengganu, held their elections separately from GE15. Only Perlis, Perak, and Pahang still share the same cycle as Parliament. If the timeline is to be reset, G16 must be held before the end of the current Malacca State Assembly term. The current state legislator's term is set to expire in December 2026, meaning that polls will have to be held by February 2027 at the latest. Speaking to reporters after the Seremban DAP AGM yesterday, Loke told reporters there have been no official talks about the proposal. However, he argued that streamlining elections would make things easier for voters and save costs for the government. This is as the Election Commission's budget comes from Putrajaya, and having multiple elections separately means that logistics costs are multiplied. Loke added that this decision is the prerogative of the Prime Minister. The decision to streamline elections will also require cooperation from all the peninsula state governments. PAS Information Chief Ahmad Fadli Shari has hit out at DAP Secretary General Anthony Loke. This was in response to Loke's remarks as reported by Utusan Malaysia on strained ties between PAS and Bersatu over Perikatan Nasional's Prime Minister candidate and wanting to dominate political coalitions. In response, Fadli said that Loke should buy a big mirror and look at DAP's own face. He recalled how DAP once cut ties with PAS President Abdul Hadi Awang, but still worked with PAS under Pakatan Rakyat. Fadli contrasted the relationship between PAS and Bersatu with that of DAP and UMNO, noting that despite differences over the prime ministerial candidate, the PAS Bersatu discussion remained within party channels. He stated that PAS did not mobilize its members to lodge police reports against Bersatu or vice versa. He pointed out that just a month ago, DAP mobilized its members to lodge reports against the UMNO youth chief and questioned if they are both in the government. Fadli further noted the lack of top UMNO leaders who defended UMNO youth chief Dr. Ahmad Saleh when he was allegedly attacked by DAP over his remarks, protesting the Merdeka Month Jalo Gamilang gaffes. He asked if this doesn't mean DAP is the dominant one and whether there was no WhatsApp group or negotiation table. Fadli also claimed that several UMNO divisions in the federal territories have cut ties with the DAP and asked whose house is falling apart. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Britain, Canada, and Australia has announced their official recognition of an independent state of Palestine. In a video posted on X, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said Britain was acting to keep alive the possibility of peace and a two-state solution.
In the face of the growing horror in the Middle East, we are acting to keep alive the possibility of peace and a two-state solution. That means a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable Palestinian state. At the moment, we have neither. Ordinary people, Israeli and Palestinian, deserve to live in peace, to try to rebuild their lives free from violence and suffering. That's what the British people desperately want to see.
Meanwhile, Australia made the announcement in a joint statement by its Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Foreign Minister Penny Wong. According to Bernama, in the statement, they said Australia recognizes the legitimate and long-held aspirations of the people of Palestine to a state of their own. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney also issued a statement on Sunday confirming Canada's recognition of the state of Palestine. The move comes as several countries announced that they would be recognizing Palestine at the UN General Assembly 80th annual meeting. According to BBC, more than 3/4 of the UN's 193 members already recognize a Palestinian state. The MCMC has imposed a fine of 100,000 ringgit each on local media outlets Sinchu Media Corporation Berhad and Sinar Karangkraf Sendirian Berhad, following authorization from the Attorney General's chambers. The fines came after an investigation was launched into Sinchu Daily, which allegedly posted an incomplete version of the Jalo Gamilang on its website. Meanwhile, Sina Harian was penalized for an infographic that inaccurately linked Inspector General of Police Khalid Ismail to PKR. We ran a poll to get the public's opinion on the government's decision. Here are the results. 78% of the approximately 5,000 voters believe the move was necessary to protect the country's dignity and ensure accurate reporting. 11% feel the action was excessive and restricts freedom of speech. 8% think the fine was warranted but feel it may have been too harsh. One voter suggested that everyone who makes similar mistakes should face consequences, expressing concern that certain parties might escape punishment by merely issuing an apology. What are your thoughts on this issue? Share your opinions in the comment section below. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.